Plaintiff Mishana Conley is suing her former friend for car damages. Mishana says she hasn't been able to trust men since she was molested by her stepfather and had 2 children by him as a teenager. And now the defendant has betrayed her trust. Defendant John Shaw claims the plaintiff is currently in a verbally abusive relationship with her husband, and he even accused John and Mishana of having an affair.
Okay, Mishana Conley is suing her former friend John for car damages. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mishana, why don't you tell me why you're suing him?
Your Honor, I'm here today because I've had a lot of tough things in my life, a hard upbringing. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You had, okay, let me talk for a minute. You're suing the defendant for car damages. He's a former friend, and you started by saying you had some tough times in your life.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a hard time trusting men, and John proved to me again that I will continue to have a hard time trusting men. It started when I was 3. I was molested by my stepfather.
When you were 3?
I was molested by my stepfather. By the age of 15, I had 2 kids by him, placed in adoption.
By him? By your stepfather?
Yes.
Who knew? Did anyone know? I mean, how old were you? By the time you were 15, you had 2 kids. Does that mean you were pregnant at 13?
Yes, 13 and 14.
Please tell me this man went to jail.
He got 2 days in the jail and 3 years probation.
2 days?
2 days.
Mishana, what state is this?
Indiana.
Did you go to trial?
Yes, we did go to trial. He had a pretty dirty lawyer who got him out of a lot.
What was he convicted of?
I can't remember exactly what he was charged with, but he was pled out to a misdemeanor, and that's why he only ended up getting 3 years probation.
Is he a sex offender?
He was on that list for 10 years.
He was on for 10 years. Is he off the list now?
Yeah.
That's really comforting. You have a guy who molests a child at 13, at 3, and at 14, knows that she's carrying his babies. Who else in the family knew Mishana?
I tried telling a family member what had happened, and I was smacked in my face, and I was thrown out of the house for 2 days. I had to live in a garbage can. I was able to come back if I agreed to not talk about it anymore.
This family member who slapped you was a female. You told her that your stepfather had impregnated you. How did you get anyone to finally believe you?
She didn't believe me at first. She thought I was being promiscuous around my schoolyard, and that I was with other boys, and so she was just blaming it all on me being promiscuous.
How did you prove it wasn't just you being promiscuous?
The second child that I had in the adoption thing, they wanted a DNA test, and it was proven.
DNA proved that it was your stepfather who had impregnated you.
Yes.
And he goes to jail for 2 days with 3 years probation. Shame on the DA. Shame on whoever that DA is.
Yes.
And he's now off the sex offender list. Does he have young children now?
My youngest sister that is his is 22. So.
Has he remarried, do you know?
No, not remarried. He's pretty much an alcoholic and goes to the casino and spends his money, and he's a loser.
He'll get his, Mishana. He'll get his.
I hope so. I'm praying every day.
You know, life, God, karma, whatever you want to call it, has a way of coming back at you. He'll get his.
Defendant.
What do you want to say? Who are you? Step up.
I'm her husband, David. And he also lives next to one of our city high schools.
Literally.
It's a sad commentary on the sex offender laws.
This is the first time I've heard this today.
He's known about the abuse.
I've known about the sexual molestation. I just didn't know the other detail.
I'm embarrassed.
Let me tell you something, Mishana. You have absolutely nothing to be embarrassed about. You are a survivor. You are a woman who has been to the bottom of the valley, and there's no other way but up. You are a woman who understands human drama and human emotion and human pain. You can help other people, all right? But you need to make sure that you're healed. You need to make sure that you're whole again. He is a worthless human being. I wouldn't even call him that. I call him an animal, okay? And he will die a worthless human being. Don't ever forget that. Do you have children now with your husband?
Yes, we have 2.
Okay, all right? That's your sunshine. That's your new day. That's your opportunity, okay? Seize it. Enjoy it. Make sure that nothing like this ever happens to them, that you have communication with them, that you believe them when they talk to you. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
All right, so why are you suing John? Sit down. Thank you.
I'm here because I'm suing John for a car that he borrowed. My car that he borrowed.
What are the circumstances of this?
He had asked if he could borrow my car to go to the plasma center and donate plasma, and I told him he could. He told me he was dying for a cigarette, and I told him he could not leave the plasma center until he was done. He could just go buy some, and he didn't listen.
Had he ever borrowed your car before?
Yes, he has.
Okay, so, John, you borrow the car, and what Mashana is saying is you do it so that you can go sell plasma? You sell your own plasma?
Yeah,
all right, and you get paid for that?
Yeah. Is it okay if I start from the top
Sure.
down? We've been friends for a long time. I used to spend nights at her house and hang out with her all day. And her husband always thought something was going on. I kind of had a crush on her in the beginning, but nothing really ever happened. He's extremely jealous of our friendship. He would always treat her like crap. And
How
call
did
her
he treat her
name.
like crap?
He'd
What do
like
you
call
mean
her
by that?
names and be verbally abusive.
Why is he, step up. Why is he saying that you're verbally abusive to Mashana? Because let me tell you something. This woman doesn't deserve anything more than being
I
treated as a
understand
queen right now. Do you understand that?
I do. I really do. It's not that I'm jealous of their friendship. Is the fact that she's married and to me, and she swore that she would never cheat on me while we're married because she has cheated on me before because she can't trust men.
Right.
And if I was really jealous of the relationship, I wouldn't let him spend the night or even come to our house.
Why do you spend the night there anyway?
Because we just hang out all the time.
What, are you drinking? You can't drive home? Oh, you don't have a car.
No.
That's why you're borrowing her car.
Right.
What did you do? You have an accident with her car?
Yeah, I borrowed a car to go donate plasma.
And she told you not to go for
not to
cigarettes,
go,
and you
and I
got in the
went.
car, you went for cigarettes. What happened?
I was driving down the road, coming up to an intersection, and this UPS truck was turning right from the left-hand lane. And I didn't see his blinker or anything, and I saw him start to turn, and I tried to slam on the brakes, and his back tire hit me.
No, you hit him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks. What's the damages, Michelle?
I have different estimates. Do you want them all?
Yes.
I got like 2
Got
here.
pictures too.
I also have pictures. Would you like to see those?
Sure.
And my promissory note from him. Send everything.
You signed a promissory note?
Yeah.
So you agreed to pay?
Yeah.
So why are you fighting this? Why do you think you shouldn't pay?
I don't think I should pay for all of it. Just the value of the car.
You don't think you should pay for all of it? You should pay for their new car?
Well, for the value of the car that I damaged.
Well, how different is the cost of repair versus the value of the car?
Like $500 at least difference.
So what do you think you should pay?
Like $2,500.
Okay. And what are we suing for? How much are we suing for?
$3,200.
What's the value of the car?
$2,400.
So how are you suing for $3,200?
Well, first thing, it's for being without a car.
So this car didn't run at all? It was totaled?
No,
It runs. It just has a cracked radiator, so it overheats.
You can't drive it for more than 20 minutes without having to stop and wait for it to cool off before you can drive it because the
That's an
radiator's
interesting
cracked.
situation. They don't total it, but the repair is costs more than the car is worth.
Our
mean, how
insurance
much more-
won't cover the damage because he's not an authorized driver or he wasn't insured on our policy. So that's why they told us to go after him for the damages. That's why we went after him.
They say you're not an authorized driver here, and that their insurance doesn't cover you driving the car. How do you feel about that?
Then they shouldn't have let me drive the car.
All right, sit down, John. All right, the issue is property damage. Defendant borrows the plaintiff's car. Plaintiff tells him, yes, you can borrow my car to go sell your plasma, but don't go get cigarettes. You go get cigarettes anyway, and doesn't total Mashana's car, but the damages cost more than the car is worth. So it's undisputed that, he signed a promissory note. He doesn't deny that he's failed to pay, but he insists that he should be absolved of liability because she didn't have adequate insurance coverage to cover you. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to award the plaintiff the amount of $2,916 for the plaintiff. And you take care of yourself. You're worth it. Verdict for the plaintiff.